the success of that game, do you look back and still feel like, wow, we left a lot on the table?
Yeah, honestly, we spent a lot of time in the film room today, like close to 2 hours, because I feel like, it's game one. Not everything's going to be perfect. I think the thing about film, like you go back, it's never as bad as it seems. It's never as good as it seems. There are still so many areas where we can continue to improve. I think the one thing we did do well is when things, we weren't in the proper coverage, we weren't in the proper help side, we recovered. We made plays for our teammates. We got deflections. We had blocks. If they got O boards, we had our hands up. So I think we just made plays for each other, and that's positive. But I think we can do a better job initially from the start of certain coverages, especially on defense, and then just getting our offense to flow a little bit better. I think we had some chances to really exploit some mismatches that we were hunting for coming into the game, and we didn't do quite as well of a job. But it's game one. I think that'll continue to get better.
Can the league put out a statement saying that they're investigating alleged comments from fans towards Sky players? We talked about this in the past and how it should be an inclusive environment. Do you want to speak on that?
Yeah, there's no place for that in our game. There's no place for that in society. And, certainly we want every person that comes into our arena, whether player, whether fan, to have a great experience. So I appreciate the league doing that. I appreciate, the Fever organization has been at the forefront of that since, really day one and what they're doing. So hopefully the investigation, we'll leave that up to them to find anything and take the proper action if so.
Back to the basketball part of it. On the court, how did you feel you all, maybe got more in sync as the game went on? Like layups, backdoors, things like that?
Yeah, I think for us it starts on defense. I really do. I think transition offense is where we're going to thrive. I mean, if we don't have to play in the half court, why would we? It starts with getting stops, and we certainly did that. I think we held them to 13 points in the third and the fourth. Like, that's really, really good. It's good. We're going to be able to win a lot of games if we're able to do that, and we're not going to be able to do that every single quarter, but if we're able to piece together a few quarters where they're below 20, that's certainly our goal. So I think it starts there, but I think we just got a better flow. We were hunting mismatches. We were hunting screens for our teammates. I think it's all about setting your teammates up. How can you find them in ways to be successful? And not everybody has the same skills. Some people's strengths are going to be different than others, and I think as a point guard, that's my job, to put them in positions to be successful. And obviously I'm only playing with 4 people I played with last year, so I'm still learning in that regard as well.
What's it like chasing a rebound when you have 20, 10, and 9 on the floor?
Well, I went back into the game to help DB get her into third on the all-time scoring list. If you were watching the game, we were struggling a little bit there to even get her the ball in the half court. So I told Steph, I'm like, let me go in there. It's kind of driving me nuts on the baseline not watching DB get this. Or on the sideline not watching DB get this. So that was the main goal. And honestly, just getting to be on the floor and be a part of that, like such a historic moment of somebody that has given so much to this game and the league. But also, I mean, yeah, you can just feel the energy from the crowd. Like, they're also just itching for it. And, that's not why you play. But, I feel like that's the part of the game I take a lot of pride in. I want to be able to do a lot of different things for this team. And honestly, when I think I get the ball off of a missed shot, off the rebound, like, I think it's other teams have a really hard time stopping us in transition. And I can just pitch it up to my teammates to find ways to put them in positions to score.
Did you personally hear anything inappropriate?
It's super loud in here, although I didn't hear anything. I think, that's why they're doing the investigation. That's why they're looking into it. That doesn't mean nothing happened. So you just trust the league's investigation, and I'm sure they'll do the right thing.
Do you laugh sometimes when you hear people bet on? I mean, people bet on everything, but when you do something and people like, hey, I won. I mean, do you kind of just laugh at that, or how is it?
I think.
See that?
Yeah, I mean, sports betting is a part of society. Every athlete knows that. Obviously we're not doing it. I don't care. If that's what makes the game interesting to people, so be it. I think most of our fans that are in here because they love the game, they love the product. They're not here to see a bet cash. But that's the world we live in. There's nothing bad if that's what somebody enjoys to do. I'm not going to frown upon that for them. So that's not anything I'm too worried about. I'm worried about going out here and playing basketball the correct way.
Before the game, LeBron tweeted the photo and a message. I think that was from when the Lakers were here for the first time. I believe that was your first time meeting. What's that relationship like now as you two Nike athletes are building something special?
Well, I don't really get too starstruck from people, and that was a moment that I was I knew I was going to meet him when I was coming to the game, and that's one of my idols. LeBron is the GOAT to me, so I don't know, it was just a crazy moment where I got to meet him in the back, and then for him to go out of his way and wish me luck on the season. And he really does follow the WNBA, and he watches, and he loves and appreciates basketball, and he loves and appreciates the way the Fever and my teammates play. And I mean, it's just really cool. I saw that. I didn't see it before the game, but obviously a lot of people had sent it to me after the game. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought it was kind of fake at first, but he's my favorite player of all time. I mean, you never know in today's world, I guess. I didn't know. I was like, wait, is this actually LeBron James? I knew the picture was real because I knew that was me, but yeah, it was pretty incredible. Like, I mean, I don't get too starstruck, but he's one of those people that I did.
Got time for one more.
With the newcomers that you have, you knew, that they would be able to help offensively and defensively. But I really ask you specifically on defense. What do you
Excuse
guys
me.
think you're able to do better this year, especially with adding, DB and with Natasha, that maybe you weren't able to do as well last year?
Well, I think there's so many things we can do switching wise. I think whether DB's playing the 3, whether the DB's playing the 4, and I've said this previously, I think as the team on the other side of the ball, knowing I've gone against DB, it's a real challenge to know what they're going to do in that position. It's a real challenge to even when we're on offense, like how do you guard that too? So there's just so many different things that we can do. But also I think defensively, I think Bree has really challenged our group to be physical, to be up in their space. But also like if you're going to be physical and you're going to deny passing lanes, you're going to try to get steals, you're going to jam up handoffs, you have to have help side. So I think really rotating, helping your teammates. You're never by yourself. You're never playing just one-on-one defense. Maybe you are at the point, but you always have built-in help. So I think they've really challenged us in that way. And like I said, I think that was part of the reason we had success on the defensive end on Saturday is because I thought we made up for certain mistakes and we had our teammates back.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.